You look wonderful.
I look red.
You look wonderful.
Pink lady.
You just came in from outside. I look red too. Folks, you are watching Gamers Health. I really do appreciate everybody out there. We know, I'm Rach Tenkar, it's my wife Rachel.
Hey.
We know this is the first live stream we've done in, 3 weeks? Christmas Day was myself and my niece Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
We did a non-live stream episode, which then got trolled by our good friends at TSR Hobbies. Well done, you. In any case.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week,
I think you did something.
I think we did something, but it wasn't really.
I don't know that I did.
I don't think we did. I don't think we did a live stream. I don't think we had a live stream.
Tired.
Yeah. Here's the thing, just to count you all up. Rach and I have been the victims of the COVID. We've had Omicron, Transformers Unite, or whatever the Decepticons. It sounds like something you would have seen in a late or mid '90s cartoon. Omicron, but really, what it is at least in our case. Now, I'm going to preface this. I'll have to say it later. Rach and I, we're both vaxxed. We're both boosted.
Yeah, we are vaxxed at the wazoo.
Okay, I have
have
comorbidities coming out of my ass. Rach has a few comorbidities of herself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the decision that we made. Everybody has their own decisions to make. I am against mandates. I'm not telling you to get vaxxed. I'm not telling you not to get vaxxed. I'm not saying wear a mask. I'm not saying don't wear a mask. All I'm saying is talk to a medical professional that knows your history and take their opinions, their thoughts into your actions. Make decisions that are informed, but informative about you, not put some talking head on TV or on YouTube said so. All right, that's out of the way. So we've had Omicron for the last, today would have been day 11. So today, as Braveheart would say, today was the day of freedom. Now, we had semi-freedom on Sunday. Sunday was warm. It was in the 50s. We took the dog to Forest Park. Forest Park is a park where you can
walk around. You don't necessarily have to see other people or come within 6 foot
it's
distance.
It is very easy
lends
to social
itself
distance.
Very good to social distancing, and yeah.
So for those of you that are curious, bless you. That's one of the symptoms, by the way. For those of you that are curious, Omicron for Rach and I was basically like
a cold.
A cold. I mean, I've had worse colds. I've had more minor colds.
Like the cold that I had when I was on here with you guys, probably the last time I was on.
Yeah, earlier in December.
Yeah, earlier on in December. That was worse. Because I think I also had some sort of bronchial stuff happening, but this never made it down into like the lower registers of my lungs to make me miserable that, I would pain myself or like
Rach was coughing
stretch my intercostals out.
Now
and be
uncomfortable
in my ribs.
We are like 98% sure that there was no COVID in the family before Christmas. We tested my mother, who came down with our cold shortly before Christmas, on that Thursday before Christmas, and she was negative. Now, how do we know she was negative? How did we test her? Well, here's the thing.
Do we have an open home test that we could show?
I'd have to get up and get them, and people would laugh at me as I fall down as I try to get out of the seat.
Okay.
But here's,
I'm sure they know.
Yeah, here's the thing, folks. We have home tests now. I started ordering them mid-December, when I said, "Oh, look, Omicron is becoming a thing, and it looks like it's going to become everybody's going to get it." And I'd rather have home tests than sit on a line or stand on a line for hours on end. So we got 2 boxes, 4 tests that arrived before Christmas. We used them on my mother. She was a negative. She was a negative, and we were a negative. That's the assumption. But then after Christmas, after things
Like
cleared
about
up,
Tuesday after
Yeah.
Christmas.
we cleared up ourselves
Mhm.
for about a week, a little bit, just about a week. We felt like normal people,
Yeah.
and then the symptoms started coming back. And I don't sneeze, and I started sneezing. And I sneezed at the end of a cold, not the beginning of a cold. And but Wednesday night, I had a dream that my sinuses were going insane and filling up like in a bad movie. It's like a bad horror movie about sinuses. And then I woke up with my sinuses going out of control. So it was a weird ass dream.
Yeah. Sometimes dreams can
Dreams
shreds
can
of reality, like
dreams can
sensations and
come
stuff.
true. It can
Yeah.
happen to you. When you have Omicron. I'm not doing karaoke, folks. But so for me, it was congestion, heavy congestion for the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. But my God, it was a brain fog for the first week at least. I mean, serious fucking brain fog where you are always a half second or a second behind whatever you're thinking, and your brain can't comprehend. And I'm asking Rach to clarify what she just said, because normally, if there are a few blanks, you can fill them in after 10 years of marriage. And I'm just going, uh, what? There's a lot of those questions. What? I couldn't handle digging into old emails like the OSR Christmas. And I understand there's some OSR Christmas emails that have not been addressed. My mind is clearing up. I think I had the last day and a half where I've had clarity. If you've seen my Darlene TSR3 videos in the last 2 days,
The hard hitting
news.
news.
I think you've seen some of the clarity going on. We do have a comment too from one of our regulars, Kim George. Hi guys, love the Darlene podcast. I was waiting for you to respond, Eric. I couldn't believe the bullshit when I read her post myself. Justin is just burying himself and taking Ernie with him. Now,
Too right.
I'm sure I'm going to offend some people when I say this, but I gotta believe that no longer can you say that Ernie is an unwilling accomplice. But Ernie is being brought along by his nose.
He's totally down with
he's
it.
ignorant. He's all in.
Mm-hmm.
Now he could be all in because his dream of the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum is all he can see, and I can understand that. But
is that something he's been working on for a lot of years?
It's been a dream for his, apparently, for a lot of years, from what I understand. So I can see it, but the way he dealt with Darlene, the guilt trip he tried to put on her,
so unethical.
Yes, basically. Now,
manipulative,
unethical, just shitty. Okay, and I don't like having to say that about somebody that
that in the past you've cared very much for.
I still care for
and
Ernie.
Still do, yeah.
I can still care for Ernie, and I can still go
from a distance, and that's good. Sometimes we need distance from certain people that can be toxic.
Right, and that's listen. You can like somebody.
They might be toxic just for a little while because they think something that they wanted for a long time is going to work out, or they're duped by somebody, or whatever the case is. But
But here's the thing: you can be that way. You can like somebody. You can like them without respecting them. Mm-hmm. And at the moment, I like Ernie as the person that I knew, but I don't respect him as the person that he is being right now. As a
you're not respecting his behavior.
No. Yeah. Wait, and I mean, is that a reflection on new TSR 3, 3.5, whatever you want to call it? It's a reflection on Ernie. Okay, you choose your friends, you choose your business partners. Can you say that they sometimes, to some effect, they choose you? Sure, But no, this is a choice that was made, and it was made because, in my opinion, it was mutually beneficial at the time. Ernie wanted his dream, the museum, to come and pass. It's there. He's got this great museum, the Dutch and Hobby Shop, and Justin wants to be someone who can make a name in gaming and can make money in gaming, but he doesn't know how to produce anything. So he's kind of like a carpetbagger or a grifter or multiple other things. By the way, I'm talking an opinion.
Ernie do it on his own?
No, Ernie needed somebody who would have the investment to buy the property. That's and listen, that's I understand. You know, it makes it even harder. I can understand why this happened.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make it right, but I can see the A to the B to the C and it lining out where it is. David, welcome. Always good to see you, man. But it doesn't. It just sucks. Okay, I mean, we are all imperfect people. We are all imperfect vessels, right? I mean, we've all heard the saying, whether you believe in a higher power or not, that we are made in the image of God. But we are all, we're not, none of us are alike, right? We're all different. We all look visually different. We all have different issues and different strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So we are made in the image of God, but we are all imperfect images. Sometimes through life,
and that's how it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But sometimes throughout life, we find situations where we can highlight our strengths and our noble aspect. And sometimes in life we find times where we, and this goes to all of us, I think we've all probably gone through this, where we highlight our less noble aspects.
Right.
Okay, our deficiencies in character. And that's what's happening right now.
We get stuck in the negative.
Right. So, I mean, and a lot of times we come to the idea the end justifies the means. And this is my dream. This is what I've always wanted in life. And I if I can accomplish it, it's worth whatever it takes to get there. And if the cost is, some would say your soul. I won't go so far as to say that, but the cost is your self-respect. I think that the cost is often too high because we think too much of the material stuff. I mean, it's human nature. If you're an American, it's part of the culture.
And it's material stuff, so it's going to come and go.
Right.
You know, so it's like you'll have it, but it's ephemeral. You know,
yeah.
It's going
to. Here, we're gonna talk little personal family history. We're not going to name the relative, but one of my mother's cousins is or has been an individual who just wanted to accumulate physical wealth, physical property, did some really underhanded stuff. And then in the end, she is now a prisoner of her own body because her mind has pretty much left her. She's in assisted living. But if under normal circumstances, she would probably no longer be in assisted living. She would be in a nursing home. But she's a legal guardian that was appointed by the state. And this is not how she would have wanted to go. She would have probably wanted like a Viking death. And I've heard
to be burned with all of her stuff.
Buried with all her stuff. Or
I thought they get burnt.
Well, no, I've heard gamer friends talk about that. They get burned, but you can't burn all her stuff. You would have had to have buried.
That would have sunk the ship, right? They they're going out to sea, and it's like
there's too much shit. But the physical stuff, the material wealth, is transitory. Your self-worth, okay, not your pride, because pride is not what we're talking about, but your ability to look at yourself with open eyes and say, you know what. I look at myself and I'm a decent person, imperfect, but I'm a decent person. And hey, I wouldn't screw over friends to get what I want. Well, that's probably the way you want to judge yourself, right? I think with this whole TSR fiasco, there are people involved in it that can't take an introspective look at themselves and be able to say, is this the kind of person that I wanted to be to accomplish the material goals of my life? Because again, we all have material goals. I understand that that's human nature. And
they're all how do you say, like, they're oh my god, it's transient, yes,
they're fleeting. They're all fleeting.
yes, but like they're just distractions.
They are distractions, and
deceiving of you,
right.
yeah.
Well, no way. I was watching a YouTube video earlier today, and I couldn't even tell you who it was. And they were saying that they had a friend that was extremely wealthy, and yet this friend was basically in poor health. And they said, I'd give up all of my wealth, all of my belongings to have my health back. And that's somebody who is realizing after the fact what true wealth is. All right. And again, material wealth, I'm not going to poo poo it. I'm not going to say it's not important. But people that have the wealth of family and friends and companionship and self worth and the ability to give of themselves and receive from others, that's more valuable than any physical wealth that you may accumulate. There's a lot of extremely wealthy people that are miserable fucks. And, yes, certainly can a certain amount of wealth enable you to be happier. I'm not going to say it won't.
Yeah, it can mitigate a lot of stuff.
It allows you to not have certain challenges.
No.
But at what point, at what level are you going to say to yourself, I can give up my self-respect. I can be an asshole to people that, and by asshole I could be deceiving, manipulative, or other stuff to somebody that I historically called a friend, but because of my own self-interest, I will poo-poo that and push that to the side and allow my interest in personal gain to come before friendship. And does it happen? Of course it does. This is human nature. Okay. Again, we are imperfect. There's no religion in the world that expects perfection. It's to strive to perfection. You're never born into the world as a perfect vessel of whatever force there is. It's all about striving to be better, to improve yourself. And it doesn't just mean improve. What you're looking for is.
I thought I heard something behind me.
I'm sure it was me and my being slow and a half second behind us, Rach. No, you will never ever be perfect. I don't think perfection should even be a goal. Improvement, constant improvement, should be your goal. Okay, I looked at a picture of myself probably from 15, 20 years ago with my son's mother. And I looked at myself and went, oh my God, I looked like shit. And my face was puffy, and it literally took the scare of 2020 to wake me up to the importance of things as simple as eating better. Do I eat perfectly?
Right.
Hell no. I do not eat a perfect diet.
How to be kind to yourself in terms of diet, but then also emotionally kind to ourselves and not beat ourselves up for, not constantly eating fruits and vegetables.
Right. And I've also learned that I have to exercise. Now, do I exercise every day? Could I? Maybe. Maybe I did more cross training if I did more walking and calisthenics on one day and more upper body strength the next day. I kind of intermingle them when I exercise. I usually do 30 plus minutes of exercise 4 or 5 days a week.
Well, we got very dependent on the walking, and then now our climate is getting too cold, and the dog,
She won't go
isn't
out.
going to be able to tolerate it.
No.
And we might not be able to tolerate
but not only
it.
that,
I'm very sensitive to cold because of my Hashimoto's.
if you know what Hashimoto's is, right? Can you explain what Hashimoto's?
Hashimoto's is a autoimmune disorder that basically causes your immune system to attack your thyroid, and throws your hormonal. It can throw your hormonal balance off. Like hormones control many functions in our bodies, like cholesterol, other things too. Another thing that comes along with it is, you can actually get a lot of fluid in your joints, and I think that's something that happens to me. So I get joint pain somehow in the winter. Maybe I don't know what it's doing to the fluid, or inflammation. Maybe that's the cold is making that happen. I'm not sure.
I know it makes sense. My knee gets worse in the cold weather, and that's certainly part of it. But I mean, listen, I could sit here and I could bitch and complain that I have congestive heart failure, diabetes, high blood pressure, an arthritic knee, and whatever else, and I certainly could. And then there's a shit ton of excuses I can make for myself not to do stuff.
Yeah.
I've got stenosis in this shoulder, and a lot of the exercises that I do are trying to improve the range of motion. It's never going to come back fully.
Yeah.
I understand that. I have no grip in my right hand because I tore the ligaments here. I don't know, 8-9 years ago. That's probably never going to come back.
Yeah.
So you work within your limitations and you try to improve, and you know what? It's a daily struggle, and I understand that.
So maybe it's a matter of, okay, well, let me do more yoga, or let me do more like flowy types of yoga that build more heat in you to really keep your heart rate up.
So David Thompson said he has an underactive thyroid.
Okay, similar.
So Dave, you kind of understand some of this stuff. You probably have some because Rachel's immune system attacks her thyroid. Her thyroid is basically underactive.
Right. So it can't do what it used to do. It's basically, I guess, the way it's been told to me, like it's disintegrating, because the immune system is attacking it. So yeah, if you're on medication, you're probably on similar medication to what I take. So very similar condition.
So I mean, and now Rachel talked about medication. I am on more medications than I can shake a stick at. I take, I think, 8 pills in the morning and 3 at night. I'm not even going to talk about the supplements I take. But one thing that really sticks out to me is with one of my cardiologists, and this is after a couple months after I got out of the hospital in 2019, and he was like, you know what? Many patients, many individuals believe that taking a pill is going to fix all their ails. And it'll certainly help. Okay. If you have a medication that's supposed to help you, that's great. But you have to take certain steps yourself. And I turned a blind eye to my type 2 diabetes prior to that, and my borderline high blood pressure and everything else. And you just can't do that in the morning. So Dave says he takes medication 10 at night, 10 in the morning, 4 at night. Oh, takes 10 medications in the morning, 4 at night, an extra 8 on Sundays.
Oh.
And that's just it. Listen, before I was put on Jardiance for my type 2 diabetes, I was taking insulin 4 times a day plus a long-term insulin once a day. And then they knocked it down to 3 in 1, and then knocked it down just to the long term. Yeah, David, you're on type 2 insulin every day. I was there, man.
Oh, okay.
And I've been lucky. Okay, between exercise and diet, not sure which works out better, but I was probably a little bit over a year ago, I was taken off all the last of the insulin. I was put on Jardiance, and I was taking metformin. And the problem with metformin was it was tearing up my stomach. It was certainly helping my blood sugar, but it was tearing up my stomach. So, and we learned that because again, when you're taking 8 medications plus, metformin twice a day with meals, it's hard to tell what's causing your issues.
Mm-hmm.
And inadvertently, this fall, I forgot to take my medication on a trip to the Poconos. I forgot the metformin. I took everything else. And I didn't have the amount of stomach issues that I've been having. So I realized what it was. So my doc put me on extended release metformin and a half dosage so I could double the dosage. Long story short.
When you go back, you're going to have to tell them to take it.
Yeah, I haven't been taking the metformin. And my blood sugar hasn't been.
I was going to say you should have called me.
No, I won't.
No.
But my blood sugar has been actually not bad. It was bad, though, during our initial cold earlier in the month. And
yeah, that was kind of scary.
I was spiking. My blood sugar was about 40 to 50 points higher than usual. And that cold, whatever I was fighting, was getting a response from my body, which was, you need more energy to fight this. Put more sugar into your blood. COVID, Omicron, I didn't have that kind of response, which is interesting.
Well, maybe it's a blessing that it comes with the fatigue, so that it prompts you to sleep and let your body restore.
Yeah, well, Omicron, man, I was sleeping like a bastard. So, David, I know that you.
This is David from
the UK.
Yeah, from the chat on Thursday.
Yes. See, David, my wife is more wired in than you could expect. But yeah.
Yeah, that's always weird. It's like, why do you know so much about me?
Yeah. No, but David has arthritis. He showed me his hands, and God bless. I have, again, I have some arthritis in my right knee.
Yeah. Mine's only starting.
Yeah.
In my hands, like I have, like, I don't even know if you can see here, like, I guess it kind of curves up because there's, what do you call it? The arthritis growing there.
Yeah.
And then here, this is another one where it's only at the top of the finger, though.
Okay.
On my hands, on all of my hands. It's only at the top.
Dave's hands are rough.
Yeah, and then I have it in my hip and in my lower spine, like my lumbar spine.
So Dave's on metformin, and he takes something to help with it. You know what? I'm finding that I'm probably going to be okay without the metformin. I don't know what else they could put me on.
I'm sure he'll think it's something.
Glipizide or something. I might not need anything else. I'll be happy to not.
Yeah.
Oh, so Joshua Garlic, heart failure, hypertension, diabetes type 2. Yes. So I've got 4 stents that went in early, I guess, spring of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
My blood pressure is under control. Type 2 diabetes. Obviously. Technically obese, although I'm not as obese as I used to be. And
you've gone from morbid obesity to obesity.
Just regular obesity. And
well, you gotta have goals, man.
Yes. And the stenosis in my shoulder, along with my congestive heart failure, was due to radiation for cancer that I had. 15 years ago now. Shit. Cancer treatment. So, I mean, that should I have probably eaten better, and could I have compensated for this stuff? If I was, more in tune before, I'm sure I should have. But, when you look at the edge and look over the edge, you realize what you got to do. I'm trying to catch up on the, David, a friend of mine was misdiagnosed with diabetes and was taking metformin and glipizide for years. But he was getting quite ill. It turns out he wasn't a diabetic.
Oh, shit.
And glipizide. Wow. All right. So, Dave, it's 2 a.m. I know it's late, man.
Wow.
And now, why did we start?
Thank you for being here.
Why did we start at 8:30? By the way, today, because we can leave the house again today.
Yeah, it was our first time out in a week.
Not counting Sunday.
Not counting Sunday. It was our first time out in
And
a week and a half.
with people.
Oh, yeah, with people.
With people.
Yeah.
You know, we actually went down to our local pub and had dinner, and it was, you know what? The worst part about the early part of COVID, and actually when I had my congestive heart failure and I was stuck in the house for like 2 months, was not socializing. But even if I didn't, but it was weird because even if I didn't have the congestive heart failure, guess what? I wouldn't have been socializing. There was no place to go.
Mm-hmm.
And that was rough. I'm realizing how rough that was.
Yeah.
David, my arthritis is psoriatic.
Okay.
From the geez. David has one stint. Wait a minute, where that was. I've got 4. I had 3, and then I had to go back a week and a half later to have the 4th thing because the 4th was more complicated.
Yeah.
But the 4th was the one where the assisting surgeon met me after the surgery and went, Eric, oh my God. I went, what? It went better than we could ever have hoped for or expected. I'm like, that's awesome. Can you get me a nurse? Because I gotta pee. I'm sorry.
Get out of here. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's really great. I gotta go. That's just somebody give me one of those urinal thingies. Joshua had an open heart quadruple bypass in 2020.
Oh my God.
I did not have that. Although they did ask me when I was on the table to have my 3 cents put in. My surgeon asked me how many heart attacks I had, and I went, none.
And what? They were like, yeah, right.
Really? He's like, okay, if you say so. So apparently I did have a heart attack before going to TotalCon in 2020. That like Tuesday before, I likely had a minor heart attack where I broke out into sweats and all that stuff and had to towel myself off with paper towels at my local pub when I walked in. That might have been. And then at TotalCon, it's likely that I might have had a second small heart attack that morning that I couldn't breathe. Remember, I couldn't lay down. So, you know, better and healthier for it.
Well, you could hear the water in your lungs.
Yeah, and we it was not. I also had
I could hear that with my ear.
Yeah,
and you thought I was insane.
Well,
no. Like, you're fucking crazy.
Rach, I'm married to you. I know you're insane. Okay, it's just that
but I was right. I heard water on your lungs.
The urgent care just gave me you got an upper respiratory infection, which I did. It came out to be pneumonia, and even a hospital I went into didn't catch the fact that I'd had a heart attack. So
yeah.
So, but I had sepsis too. So I really.
You really had a big puzzle there to show.
You know what? I made multiple saving throws, and when it came down to it, but God damn it, I really stuck my foot into it when it happened. David's sister scalped at him today. Beard and hair very short now. God bless you, Dave. Here, now I'm going to be very honest. You see this nice haircut that I have? Since COVID, I have not gone to a barbershop. This is my mother giving me a haircut. Now, I think it came out pretty good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I, however, do need to shave, so I got to get that out of the way, but I will get there. David, I know you hate socializing, but you know what? There's some bullshit to that because you don't miss a Thursday, and we wouldn't let you miss a Thursday. And if you did miss a Thursday...
You just don't like socializing with people who are not worthy of you. That's
there you go. Well, here's the thing. You got to socialize.
I don't like that either.
You got to socialize with people that have common interests and understand you and don't judge you. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I don't give a flying fuck whoever wants to judge me. Because in my position as a loudmouth in the gaming industry, would you call me a loudmouth in the gaming industry, Rach?
I would.
Yes. Okay, so I was going to say I could be the asshole in the gaming industry, but I call people on their shit. And when you call people's icons on their shit, you get a lot of shit thrown in your direction. And I've been doxxed. I've had people threaten to punch me in the throat. I've had threats of legal action. I've had all this shit. And you know what? It just tells me I'm doing the right thing.
There you go.
There you go. So I just get stubborn, as you all know. Yes, David, we need a cleric stat. By the way, I always seem to play the cleric, and because I always play my cleric as a dwarven, I always want to be the dwarven cleric if I can be a dwarven cleric, because I want to be like that cleric that is a fighter, and then also cast some fucking healing spells. You know, it's like I get.
Isn't that paladin?
No,
No, paladin isn't.
paladin can heal a little bit, but the cleric is can't use a sword, but can bash with blunt weapons and.
But a paladin is. I'm so sorry, guys.
No,
you can tell
no,
me.
this is
Shut
good.
This
This is
ignorant
good.
lady.
This is my. But this
paladin
is,
mean it's a warrior and a cleric together.
Kind of. A paladin is a warrior that has some clerical abilities.
I only played one. I only did one once.
That's okay.
Yeah. And it was a few years ago. So.
David, I've had pneumonia twice. Once when I was in the police academy, and that was a fucking experience and a half.
I've never had it.
Yeah, I was actually out sick from work for 3 weeks. If I was out for 2 more days, I would have been left back like some of my friends in high school. I would have been or we didn't call it left back in the academy. You would have gotten recycled, and it just meant that you would have to go.
Sounds like a really sucky thing to be.
To be. Yes, this recruit's being recycled. I mean, they have to go through everything again, and everything you accomplished in the first part doesn't count. So yeah, it would suck. Oh, Thursday is gaming. So Thursday is your gaming night. I understand it. Listen, I honestly, I would love to go back to doing at least one earlier Discord chat a month. It will require 2 things. It will require me to get fully over Omicron because I'm still sleeping like 10, 11 hours a night. But number 2, and I don't roll out of bed till 10:30, 11, as my wife can attest to.
I'm there too, enjoying it.
I'm usually the first one up, but not by much. But we'll need that, and I'll need Laramie to give me wake-up calls because it's the only way that shit works, you know. So it's all right. Gaming related. So, don't be a rules lawyer on me now, Dave. Don't be a rules lawyer. Yes, it's game related. It's geek related. We talk about geek shit. We talk about gaming shit. We talk about bullshit. I mean, I have bullshit conversations at my local pub, usually about stuff that I have no fucking idea what the person's talking about because I'm not paying attention to them until they're like 3 sentences into the talking to me, and I go, "Oh shit." Right?
He said that, and I'll tell him.
Well,
because he was in his phone. I was like, no, put your phone down.
Yeah. Put your phone. Rach, what was Jerry just saying?
Put your phone down, because Jerry was telling you about this, that, and the other.
And I have no idea what Jerry's talking about.
And you never made it. You never looked him in the eye.
No. If listen,
not that I do great. My eyes go everywhere, but
you're legally blind. You're allowed.
Not everybody knows, so sometimes they think whatever they think.
Listen, I did the Justin Lanasa. I did not make eye contact when I pretended to listen. Sorry.
See, that's why I needed when I used to do sessions over Zoom, I always used to make sure that I was looking towards the camera, so that the person would know I'm trying to look at you, But I liked it better doing the sessions over Zoom and not in the office where you'd have to wear a mask, right? Because there's a lot that's said from here down,
a huge amount.
So I feel like people would get the wrong idea if they were just looking here up.
You can't. I mean,
yeah.
I'll be honest with you. That's
Did you roll your eyes at me, miss? I'm like, no, I really didn't.
My eyes rolled, but it wasn't because why you think they just do that on their own. That's part of the reason why I don't like gaming at conventions with the mask on. And if I have a choice, when I say I have a choice, I do have a choice. If I
didn't want to go back to the office.
Yeah, if I'm not going to be able to relax and game, if I don't get to see all the reactions, I can see it on Discord, right? I can run or play in a game on Discord and roll 20 on my 2 screens, and I can see facial reactions, and these are friends anyway, so we don't get to see their face. I know them. But when you're playing with strangers, you need that facial integration to what's going on, or else it's a lot missing. Zach wants to know, Zachary, are you sleeping good, and how much snow did you get? I am
You're sleeping too good.
All right, so I think I'm averaging about right now. Listen, it was 11 to 12 hours a night plus a nap, and not a normal nap. I used to, for me, a normal nap was all right. I'll nap from like 2 to 3:30. No, it was 4 o'clock to 7, and that's just a weird time for me to have to nap. Like dinner time, I need to go down. Haven't napped in the last 2 days, and I got energy. Holy shit! So yeah, I think
I'm all, oh, we gotta clean this. We gotta put this away. Oh, let's go through that. Throw this out.
She's treating me like I'm, I don't know, a manservant. Damn it!
Not really.
Not really. She's like,
so I'm like, when are we gonna get to the closet? Like, later ain't coming.
Hold on a second, Rach.
Later's coming.
Hold on,
the closet ain't happening.
Rach, I gotta tell you right now, we gotta go down to the pub for dinner. Oh, okay. Well, get the cards. We have to wait till tomorrow. You have to know. You have to know how to play your cards. By the way, how much snow do we get?
6 inches.
About 6 inches, and we shoveled yesterday. Probably a little bit later than we should have because people stomped our snow down to a sheet of ice that I had to use the back of the shovel to get it up.
Oh, we had that today?
No, that was yesterday.
Oh.
But, and I didn't clear my car off, but it has an automatic start. So I ran it for 10 minutes earlier today to clear off some of the snow, and I'll do it again tomorrow.
Stamp our snow down.
If you don't get out there right away, listen, people going to work, people will.
Well, I can imagine they're not happy about going to work, so I'll stamp that snow down.
But here's the thing: we are not on a major street, but we are certainly on a street where you're going to take to walk down to the bus a block and a half from us, or walk to the train 4 blocks from us. So there's foot traffic throughout the day.
The school is open, and that's a few blocks up.
Yes,
the road from up Haspel. Up our block, and then
it's no secret what block we live on.
Somebody already blew that shit up. I'm not really that worried.
Dude, I'm gonna blow up your spot. Your name is like Stina, right? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's on every product they publish. Okay. Well, hey, there's a grocery store at your corner. There's no grocery store at the corner of Haspel, right? Like there never has been. There's a Filipino restaurant and pizzeria that hasn't been open since COVID hit. So that's what would be down the block for me. But hey, as I've said before,
you can look on Google.
Yeah. I get to I have a license to carry concealed. That's all. That's as far as I'll put it. So I'm not too worried about the TSR groupies. Besides which, they'd actually have to be able to like drive to get out here. So
I mean, man enough to deal with the city.
Oh, they're not. No. I'm not man enough to deal with the city. Okay, I retired. I want nothing to do with Manhattan. I can barely handle our neighborhood. I'm not man enough. I'm like Gary Con with like 3,000 people. No, man, no. I'll just say it, North Texas, when we get like 450, 500. I can handle those numbers. I don't want to deal with those crowds anymore. So, I will admit that I'm no longer man enough. Energy, you're on the rebound from your sickness. Yeah, you know what? Listen, this could be the Tullamore Dew that's running through me right before we left the pub, which was on the house, which made it taste even better.
Of course.
But I'll be honest with you, right now, there's a little bit of a psychological high to get out and socialize and see people that you haven't seen in nearly 2 weeks.
And explain like where you've been.
Yeah. And then you get the
you're like, oh my God, I heard.
Yeah. Because there's no secret. Like listen, even in this community, right?
Even in the big city, there's
communities.
Small.
With your community, everybody talks.
Circles that.
And it's like,
news travels fast.
I heard from John, who heard from John, who heard from Rick, that you and Rach have COVID.
And the boys tend to gossip a lot more.
Yes.
Than the girls.
Well, there's more boys at the pub, Rach. So, but I mean, to be honest though, that's the gaming community too, right? We we gossip. We claim that we don't, but we do. And I know I've been accused of being some combination between gossip mongering and journalist, and I will
A yentalist.
a yentalist. Um, I've done more serious investigations. I've done serious investigations on stuff that has not become public because it doesn't need to become public, but things get resolved in the background. And I don't do it for recognition. I do it because what's right. I want the community to thrive. And sometimes that means giving a nudge. And sometimes that means pulling the curtain away from people like TSR. I can't help myself. Come on. If you want Tenkar's attention, just threaten him with legal action. And you'll get the attention.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get more than you probably bargained for, but But yes, the energy won't last. I wish it would because I still have to do, according to my watch. No, don't give me that. How much more exercise I gotta squeeze in 25 minutes of exercise before I go to sleep tonight. And that doesn't. I haven't been using the VR headset, which is very good to get a good workout because our yoga room has been our Christmas room, and the yoga room doubles as my VR room. So that hasn't been able to be happening, but getting there.
That's why I packed up Christmas. I'm very excited to get it into
made
the closet. It just needs some room.
It made me very sad. Yes, good time to do some creative work. I have to get some of the finishing touches on my end, and most of the finishing touches have been done by Jeff Jones. Swords of Wizardry, Continual Light. It's going to be renamed Continual Light. I need a new logo. As for the reason why the change, I think it just needs its own identity. It's far enough away from Swords and Wizardry, even though that's the roots and it's compatible, that it should step away from that. And as we've mentioned before with Bad Mike, Swords and Wizardry is no longer a Frog Guard title. It's back with Matt Finch and his independent company, and that's awesome. And I wish Matt ton of luck with that. And I am not a Frog Gun employee either. So it kind of puts Swords of Wizardry for my use as a licensee in a weird spot. So I'd rather just, clear that out. But I've seen the initial layout that Jeff has done, and I just want to go squee. It looks awesome. I want to. Jeff does an amazing job. Really well done. So I can't thank Jeff enough. And there's other stuff that is kind of in the works that has not gotten touched because I'll be honest with you, the brain fog. And I'm not saying I'm totally beyond the brain fog. I think there's still moments where I slip into it, but the brain fog lifting for the most part has been huge, not just mentally but emotionally, because it makes you feel more like yourself. And sometimes,
and also like when the fatigue lifts.
Well, the fatigue again.
No, as the fatigue lift, you are able to dedicate
more time
of your focus, and then you're going back to relearning it again.
Yeah, and now here's the interesting thing. Like I'd like to write magic items, I like to write creatures and all this stuff. I enjoy the process and enjoy doing a little bit of fictional background for the stuff to get like a little setting hook. And that's the worst read posts on the tavern in general is the content, the gaming content. I can talk reviews, I can talk Kickstarters, I can talk news in the industry, great reviews. Anything Chris Stoggill puts up on a Sunday, great amount of content, traffic. I put up gaming content stuff, and it's kind of like, okay, yeah, you got some views, but not much. So I think that we're gonna be doing some gaming content in 2022. There are plans. I have Rob Conley, of all people, Bat in the Attic, is going to be doing a small setting book for Continual Light. Jane Spahn is going to be doing a small setting and adventure for Continual Light. These things are all in the works. We've got pub crawls, some like 1 or 2 page one sheets that Bad Mike is working on that we're going to be getting out. So there's a lot of irons that are ready to get put into the fire. We just got to get there. Oh, and there's big plans for Torchlight. This has nothing to do with GamersHealth, but there's big plans for Torchlight in 2022. We may be getting some good backing on that from one of the larger publishers in the OSR. So we shall see where that goes. But Torchlight's going to become more general OSR in the process. So, yes, there's lots of stuff going on for 2022. I haven't gotten my feet under me yet, so we're working on it. But a lot of this stuff is, I'll be honest with you. If you need somebody who can be a great, production manager or, project manager, Jeff Jones, because I would fall flat in my face if it wasn't for Jeff's work. So Jeff is more than just a layout artist and more than just a friend. He's a great project manager. So I'm throwing that hint out if anybody needs. Not that I want to lose him, but just the right thing. Fish oil, says James Thomas.
Isn't that Mega Red?
I believe it has some of that stuff. Yes. So we've taken the Mega Red, but we do also have some fish oil, I think, on the shelf somewhere. Maybe, perhaps. James Thomas, you're on the Frog God Discord. All right, I will brainstorming. Is always fun. Here's the thing with Torchlight. Torchlight is pretty much going to be. I'm going to be like the editor, and I think the project manager and layout's going to be Jeff, and I'm probably going to be Glenn Houston's going to be doing our covers, and we are going to be getting freelancers for the rest of it. That requires us to get the ball rolling. And I think technically I still have to give a written proposal on how I plan to do this. Shit. All right. Well, I guess I got to get that done in the next couple of weeks. So
get that proposal.
Proposal.
That comes before the thing.
Well, it kind of does.
Yeah, it does.
We got to cement it. We got to get it down. We got to get it ready. We got to make it work.
The whole rationale behind what you're trying to do.
But honestly, all this stuff keeps me active. I mean, when my father retired, he took an early buyout. So he retired at like 58, and he got bridged for Social Security. He was like, "Oh, I need something to occupy my time." And his ideas were drive a school bus. My father hated kids. He loves my niece, his granddaughter. He loves her to pieces. Don't get me wrong, but the idea of my father driving a school bus with 40 kids on it,
bunch, whining kids,
never gonna happen. Or a dog. I was like, Pop, you're not getting a dog. So he had to find what his first 6 months he was going insane. He couldn't, and then he found two interests: painting still life, and metal detecting, and that gave him a focus. It gave him stuff. So my focus is the gaming community in general. It's doing the videos, it's doing the blog, and it's getting some content out. And I think that keeps me occupied up here and a lot in here.
Mm-hmm.
And this young lady does most of this for me, my heart, and she also keeps me going up here. So I don't realize that, hey, I'm retired. I realize that, hey, I am in the next phase of my life.
Doing what I want to do.
That's right. Like Rach, moving on to yoga.
Not that I didn't want to work with people and do therapy, but, there comes a time where maybe I want to do a little more.
So, you expand. 2020. Listen, I don't believe in like going, well, what are your goals for 2022? What is your New Year's resolution? I have a simple resolution for 2022. Don't be a dick to the people I care about.
Oh, I love that.
Now, I'm not saying don't be a dick.
Because usually people like when you think of New Year's resolutions, like it's so negative focused. It's like, oh, I suck so bad, and
Yeah.
what I'm gonna lose weight so I suck less.
Yeah.
It's like no,
I don't want to be such a. No, I don't want to be. I don't want to.
Not how it works.
I don't want to be a dick to the people I care about. All right, I think that's what it comes down to. So, I mean, I think that's important.
Don't fall
So,
into the trap of that stuff.
James, yes, I will reach out to you. We will brainstorm together, and that sounds like a lot of fun. Zachary, what books do you read? All right, so here's going to be the like the true. The ask me anything part of this. What books do I read? I'm going to be paying.
I think I forgot how.
Listen. Here's my issue. Before I had Hodgkin's, before I got treated for Hodgkin's, I used to read, honest to God, at least a book a week, if not more. Before I was a cop, I used to get up half an hour before I really needed to get up so I could read in the morning after reading at night in bed for an hour before going to sleep. I would read at my counter when I was working in a department store if there was nobody around, or write D&D material, one or the other. As a cop, I was still reading close to a book a week. It was just my focus. And then I had Hodgkin's. And Hodgkin's and the treatment for it, they told me it was the chemo. The chemo rewires your brain. It certainly rewired it when I was going through it. I had a bad case of chemo brain and short-term and long-term memory loss. It was not good. But afterwards, I found myself more creative, more able to write, especially like the blogs, the new podcasts, and doing the YouTube channels, and less able to focus on reading a book. So I've been reading The Game Wizards, and I've been from John Peterson, and I think I'm about 20% through it in Kindle, and I started this book probably 5 weeks ago. Because I only read it when I'm waiting for Rach at her physical therapy.
Yeah.
And we've been missing some of that
because COVID's been
COVID and colds. She hasn't been doing as much physical therapy. But not only that, I used to have to read for a half an hour to an hour before going to sleep. And I'm no longer like that. My brain goes to shut
YouTube
down.
videos
Right.
before bed or something like that.
But I don't do stuff. I don't read in bed anymore. I thought I would, and I don't. So
we could try to create some time for that because it's good.
But I used to try to read fiction. I've tried to read honest to God fiction, and there's some that I can kind of still read. But the fiction that I can read is usually stuff that has a chapter that's self-contained before, like the chapter is almost its own story, and then moves on to the next chapter, which is its own story, or it's stuff that's historical. If it's historical and reading about the police department, or reading about my old chief, I can read stuff like that and maybe finish it in a couple of weeks. But honestly, there was a time in my 20s I could read on vacation. I read a book a day. Just sit down and just read a book. I don't have that ability to focus anymore on reading, but I can focus on creativity a bit better. It's a weird dynamic. I'm more creative, but I'm less able to focus and absorb the creativity of others. I'm also very bad now at reading all the game books. This is a true confession. All the game material that I acquire, I'm very behind at reading it. Because a lot of times I just can't. Either I assume I know it all because I know the system. It's based on an OSR system, and I can read the blanks, and it's like, oh, this is boring shit. Or it's something that I don't know, in which case I go, it's like a fucking foreign language, and it's going to be hard, and I'll put it aside. So it's a little bit of both. James says the wife and I read Conan stories in bed at night.
Do you read it to one another?
Do you read it out loud, or do you just you're both reading Conan and you? Because I did that years ago with a friend of mine. Oh my God, the Da Vinci Code.
Oh wow!
And it's like, all right, we're going to read a chapter tonight, and we'll discuss it at work tomorrow. Before the internet. but I don't think that anybody does anything like that right now. I know that my brother-in-law is reading what do you would
The
call it?
Harry
The
Potters
Harry
with
Potter stuff.
our niece.
Yes.
Not with, I guess they read them independently and then they, come together and compare notes.
So Zachary's like, reading books gives me gaming ideas. I currently listen to the Wheel of Time book series. Now that's something I can relate to.
Oh, yeah.
I would be the first person to tell you that whenever the Warhammer, the Black Library stuff goes for sale on Humble Bundle, I grab it all because there are times where I'll suddenly go, hey, I just want to listen to something, and I have an hour free, and I'll listen to some fiction from the
so
Black
Humble
Library.
Bundle sometimes has audiobooks?
Yes.
Oh.
So they are well done. They are really well done. So it's great.
Yeah, I do a lot of audiobooks from the Audible.
So Jane says they read them out loud to each other.
Oh, that's so cool.
Rach has a good voice for doing an Audible book. I do not. Yes, Audible is the way to go. Honestly, the greatest thing I used to like about one of the early Kindles is it would allow you to read a lot of these books out loud, even though it was in a mechanical voice.
No, I can't deal with the mechanical voice.
It wasn't too bad, but it would read out like again. It was a lot of the
the author or whoever the hell they choose.
It was a lot of the Warhammer fantasy stuff. It was good to read or listen to on my commutes. David, reading children's books to young kids is a great opportunity to practice RPG voices without feeling self-conscious.
That's fun. I used to enjoy reading with kids and doing voices and like Barbie or with girls, playing with dolls and stuff. Like you could do any kind of personas, and that was always fun.
But honestly, I just do the voices anyway.
Yeah,
I don't need an excuse to practice RPG voices. I just get into them and I annoy my group. That's right, David. You
do them with Shannon. Yeah.
David was a librarian once, and we did kid sessions now and then.
Cool.
That's fun. See, I could see myself doing that.
Yeah.
The only problem is, if you've all watched this channel, I would inadvertently drop an F-bomb or something else. And he'd be like, I'm sorry, but Mr. Tenkar will not be returning next week. Why? Because calling children a bunch of fucktards is not the way to go.
Just sit quietly.
Shut up, you fucktards, and listen up. Probably not the way to present a book. Just saying. And what's funny is
he read it to us in his police voice.
Oh my god! This is the.
I told us to sit with our hands behind our back.
No, just sit on your hands and shut up. Don't move until I tell you to. If I ask you a question, you'll answer it. Don't speak unless spoken to. Are we clear? Yes. I used to be told that I from other police officers that I would come out with the voice of God. And I didn't believe them until I apparently came out with the voice of God. And I was like, wow, people on the street are telling me this. And why is that? Because I was in a van with 3 other cops, and I was one driving. And then at some point in the pursuit, perps were running, and my other cops were leaving, and I was still chasing one guy who was running away on foot with my van. And I didn't realize, I thought I was on the loudspeaker yelling at the guy with my gun out the window and driving. That requires 3 hands. I only have 2 hands the last time I checked. So yes, I had the gun out the window, and I had a hand in the steering wheel, and I had the voice of God going. And people on the street after was like, officer, I ain't never heard that. I went, what did you? Because the guy stopped because I was yelling at him.
That must be for me.
Whoa, somebody sounds that pissed, it must be legit. So, wow. I'll be honest with you, folks.
I don't know what to do. Should I keep running?
Yeah, no. He actually hit the ground, and I jumped out and cuffed him, and I was like, he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I felt like I had like one of those RPG voices, like it's like he had the voice of God that compelled people to do things. But it didn't quite work that way. You know, I did a cop voice for Cinescape. Oh my god, there was some good audio tracks on that. Oh, you're working on an audiobook now,
Oh,
James.
that's
Pretty cool. Yes, Yajin, we are. They, by the way, I explained earlier. The haircut is the COVID haircut that I got from my mother. My mother has done all my COVID haircuts because I don't think I sit in a barber's chair as they with mask on as they cut my hair. So we are feeling a lot better. I would say I'm around 90-95%, but my God, when I go to sleep tonight, I'm going to crash because I've got way too much fucking energy right now. And it might be the Tullamore that I had before I came to the live stream, but we'll see. Rach is feeling better. In my case, the worst of it is the lethargy and the brain fog. My brain fog is almost all lifted. It is night and day. I never appreciated how much thinking clearly meant until I couldn't think clearly. But we're still sleeping. I mean, I got up at 10:30 today. Okay, and that was early. And then I was still like, it's too late for me to make a real breakfast. I guess I gotta like do a shortcut. I think Rachel went to bed at like 11, but
just before,
or just before 11. But no naps in the last 2 days, so I would say that's a huge improvement. Yeah, I mean, this is literally the first 5 days were the worst of it because it was not saying all the congestion is gone. There's still some there, but those first 5 days, it was congestion, it was head pressure,
your nose
brain
was constantly running.
Yeah, it was brain fog.
Yeah.
And also in my case, my stomach was upset. I was in the bathroom a lot. Because a lot of it was posting.
I had night sweats. That was not nice.
Yeah, and I haven't had nice. I before I had Hodgkin's, I used to get a lot of night sweats. It's probably a lead up to my night sweats, but night sweats is a symptom of Omicron. So thank you. We actually, I know we have a little color. I got a smile on my face, but yeah, no, I think we do look better. I could certainly use another shave, but I feel more like myself. As we explained earlier, Rach and I went down to our local pub for the first time in nearly 2 weeks today and got to socialize with people we haven't seen. They all knew. People we never spoke to. They're like, oh my God, I heard from John, who heard from John, who heard from Rick that you two had COVID. It's like, oh, there's no secrets in this community, I guess. No. But it is, Dave, be good, sleep well.
Good night, Dave. Thank you for watching.
Always appreciate you hanging out with us. Nice to have somebody from the other side of the pond.
Indeed.
Power down with a Conan story with Rachel before sleep. I can't promise it will improve your romantic life, but you never know. Well, yeah, depends on the quote we get from Conan for that one, I guess. But and here, I'll be honest with you. I think I've read.
Just don't read Lord of the Rings to me. Yeah.
Only the movies. The movies put her to sleep. Honestly, God, I don't know why. But Conan, I've read. I think like 2 or 3 short stories of Conan. But if you say, "Oh, have you read the graphic novels?" from like Roy Thomas and yes, I've read everything. Like Roy Thomas was a great reinterpreter of the Conan sagas. I used to like King Conan when I was in college. That was a great comic, a nice little turn on the Conan-esque.
I never heard of it.
Oh yeah, my sister's boyfriend at the time got me hooked on it. I was like, oh
really?
Shit, this is really good. And I kind of fit. I should find that stuff again. Really should. But holy crap! Listen, when we started doing this, Rach and I, again, we were at a local pub for dinner, and that's why I was like, yeah, let's do an 8:30 start so we can get home in time. And then before we started this, I was like, yeah, you know what? We've had the COVID. We've been going, we've been sleeping deep, even if we haven't been napping the last couple of days. I go, you know what? We'll do half an hour and then we'll wrap it up. And we were an hour and 10 minutes into this, and
nice.
And that's because of you all. I mean,
Exactly.
there literally is no reason that I would want to do a live stream or I'd want to do a podcast or a vidcast if it wasn't for the community. I mean, uh, one of the most, I don't know, striking words of advice I ever got in college was from my creative writing teacher, my second year of college,
Hmm.
and his words stuck with me because he's like, if you're writing for yourself, it's just a form of mental masturbation. He goes, get a box of tissues and take care of it another way.
I always loved how people
It was,
use that
yeah,
euphemism.
yeah. He goes, but if you're writing for others, he goes, it'll make sure that you are going to offer the best of you that you can offer. And that is what it should be. That is what you should be offering. And I don't know if you always get the absolute best of me, but you get the best of me that I can certainly give you at that time. Sometimes I'm under the weather, so you're not going to get the best of me. But
you get all that we can muster.
All that we can muster. And sometimes I can't muster all that much. But I mean, honestly, except for hospitalizations, I've been doing a podcast daily forever. And I've certainly the video. I don't think I've missed a day in over a year. And I hope that you all are enjoying what we do. Because remember, this channel isn't just me. It's Bad Mike, which is my work spouse, and I'm glad that Rach doesn't get jealous.
No.
She's like, it's Mike. Who can get jealous of Mike? And then it's Glenn Hallstrom. It's Joe the lawyer. They're all good friends. They all bring something different to the table, and I enjoy doing this aspect with Rach. We don't call this an Ask Me Anything, because if I did that, the questions you guys and girls would ask would be just fucking retarded. But
really?
Oh yeah, we have some jacket go. Okay, Tenkar, can you tell me if you have any body parts that are pierced? You're gonna get some questions like that.
Oh.
By the way, the answer is I used to have a pierced ear, but it closed up like 25 years ago when I became a cop. So yeah, no, no more.
Oh yeah, you're right. They do a lot of like Q&A videos on the YouTube. Yeah. And things like that.
Bromos. So here's the thing with Torchlight, there are actually two issues of Torchlight. There is a premiere issue, like an issue 0, which was like more like a proof of concept, and then you have issue 1. Now, issue 1 had a very limited print run that was offered at Game Hall Con, and then we're giving away some copies through OSR Christmas. I may have a few more copies left after that, and may do some more giveaways. But the idea with Torchlight, if you did not hear, is that Torchlight is going to be supported by one of the larger OSR publishers. That's the game plan. They approached me. And we are going to have freelancers writing the articles, and there will be my creative oversight and Jeff Jones' creative oversight, but it's really going to be an OSR zine magazine. Yes, I said it right. For everybody. So it's going to be less focused on swords and wizardry specifically, although you still have your continual light articles because that's where I hang my hat. But we'll have other stuff. And I'm going to hopefully get some stuff from some other creators of some more specific lines within the OSR that maybe I can get them to contribute small articles, which would be fun. But it's just nice to know that we can get the backing of a company that will have a little bit more movement. Now, Jen, following your TSR commentary, I'm an old school revival person. Started playing D&D in 1980. I'm like in 1979, 1980. I'm not quite sure where it fell. I was in 6th grade. So it was kind of like, it was a weird time. But the new TSR or TSR3 or TSR 3.5, depending on how you want to like name them, uh, it's a sad shit show, and I really wish that it had been handled a lot better on their end. It's just not good for the hobby. But hey, it's entertaining, and they give me new material almost on a weekly basis, or sometimes more.
The gift that keeps giving.
Yeah, it's like jockets. You can't get rid of it without like a really strong medication.
Yuck.
What? All right, I could have just said a fungus. It's like when you get that nail fungus. It's like there for.
No,
like,
I guess it's appropriate.
Yeah, I didn't call it a yeast infection.
Oh.
Well, that might be more appropriate though. But I mean, I just don't.
No.
Sorry, folks. We didn't.
We're living in the male realm since it's a male-dominated hobby.
Yes, I know. But now, as a total aside, for those that have been following again the TSR drama, if you remember when they were linked with oh God, what is it? Giant Lands. When Giant Lands was going to be a title for them, and then Giant Lands broke away. And Rach knows, so it's not a surprise, but I'm sure it can still shock her the amount. I actually purchased Giant Lands live on the live stream on Wednesday night with Mike because of the horrible reviews it's been getting as a train wreck. I figured that I had to take the hit for the community so I can do an actual review and of this product, so you don't have to. So did I tell you how much it was, Rach?
No.
Okay. So here, okay, Rach, here, grab that box over there. Yes, that box right there. So I'm going to put things in perspective for everybody.
You sure I should be holding
Yes, yes. It's a heavy box, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this box, by the way, folks, if you're going to grab a starter set, the Rune Quest starter set from Chaosium, this solid box, all right, is $30. Get it directly from
This is only $30.
That's only $30.
Okay.
All right.
Put it back up?
Yeah. Get it from Chaosium. You'll get instant gratification. You'll get the PDFs when you purchase it. Giant Lands from Wonderfilled. There we go. That's what I couldn't remember what it was.
Oh.
From Wonderfilled is Rach. Put a decimal point. Put a 1 before that number. So how much would a 1 before the number be?
130?
Yes, plus shipping.
Oh, great. I'm going to get a new bottle of perfume.
So it came to $142 plus change. I did it live. I showed the screen when Dad, Mike, and I were doing Talking Crit. Because, oh, by the way, the box is digest size. This is a full-size box. For $130, you get a digest size. And from everything I've read, it's going to be a steaming pile of shit. I could be wrong.
So what are you saying? That it's not going to have like stuff like
no, and it's not the quality, and it's not.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if it is the steaming pile of shit, it's going to make a very interesting couple of episodes.
You better like call it what it is.
And if it's good, I will be happy to call it what it is. I'd love to be surprised. But
this is this Wonderfilled thing.
Yes, Giant Lands.
Oh.
By James M. Ward, Stephen Dinehart, and Gary Gygax Jr., which, by the way, Ernie does not call himself Gary Gygax Jr., except on the cover of this box set.
Oh, that's the only thing he's written that he puts his dad's name on? Well,
it's the only thing that he's written that somebody put him down as his dad's name. Apparently, on the back cover, he's Ernie Gygax Jr., so figure that shit out, folks. If that isn't a steaming pile of shit waiting to come your way, I don't know what is. But my God, it's going to be fun.
These people are not. No, maybe this is different. These people, like they left up out of TSR, right?
Yes, yes. Okay. These are the people that joined TSR briefly, and then it was kind of like one of those divorces after, like, oh, we were married for a month, and I realized that
We just got into knowledge, so y'all just want to forget.
Pretty much.
See you later, bye.
Now, I don't even know if there was a written contract joining the companies. I kind of doubt it, since my understanding was, at least until this past summer, Ernie was working on a verbal contract for his position at TSR. So I suspect this was kind of like oh, fuck you all, I'm going to go home and take my ball with me. All right, go home and take your ball with you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I assume that's what happened, and there was no paperwork involved. I don't know for sure. I'm just working on an assumption. But in any way, Giant Lands will be rushing to our house. And when it gets here,
I'm going to Macy's.
I told Mike that's what was going to happen. I said, Mike, you do know.
Or shit, I could just order a bunch of them from the discount.
This is going to cost me
perfume
twice
place
as much
and-
as I'm actually putting down here right now. But that's why something like this. And by the way, Call of Cthulhu, also from Chaosium, $30 for the starter set. Another great box set.
See, that's not bad. I've never,
Listen,
I'd be like, oh my god, how could you?
I did.
And I'm not even like, how could you? I'm just like, oh, have fun. I get to.
Yeah, I did. Listen, folks, I did Giant Lands for science. I did Giant Lands so you don't have to. I did Giant Lands because I expect to get $142 worth of entertainment out of my review.
Oh, with the tax.
No tax. No, there's no tax.
142.
Delivery, $12 is,
Oh, damn. And isn't it free shipping?
No, for shipping. Come on, this is wonderful. But yeah, no, there was no tax charge because I guess it was shipping outside of the state of Wisconsin. So, now, could it be possible that Wonderful will go, oh my god, this shit's going to Rach Tenkar. Time to get some anthrax.
We better make something really good, right quick.
Or put on some contact poison into this box. We can solve a problem. I don't expect that, but I actually expected that back with what was it? Was it Myth and Magic?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I was expecting like anthrax at the time.
With that lawyer?
Yeah.
That lawyer guy.
Yeah, the guy up in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta open this up in the backyard and just be careful. What's gonna come out of this box? Its old trademarks just die, not be picked up when the owner fails to renew. Causes confusion in the marketplace. I'm not disagreeing with it, but that's sadly not the way it goes. So, folks, holy crap. We are actually, we're going to be knocking on an hour and a half, 90 minutes. This is going to be like the longest GamersHealth, which went totally off the GamersHealth. It mainly went off of...
it went off the rails on every account. So.
Yes.
Welcome to our world.
But that's because you all are great. You're all awesome. And again, the live audience is what makes the live streams
you just
what they
do
are.
what you do as it comes, and it's fine.
So,
and that's healthy.
Again, I can't thank you all enough. Now, we already went over the COVID shite in the beginning, so all I'm going to say is, hey, listen, when Mr. World of COVID, use your common sense. All right?
And take good care.
Take good care. Take precautions. I am not a medical professional. I'm going to talk from my own personal experience. We've been taking, what are we taking, Rach? Vitamin D?
Vitamin D.
Vitamin C?
Vitamin C and zinc.
And that appears to be a supplemental cocktail that is very effective in keeping your immune system fighting the vid. So
the Rona.
The Corona.
I hear a lot about the Rona on YouTube.
All right. I was going to say fight the vid. Fight the videos. But in any case, listen, I want you to be healthy and safe. I want us to be healthy and safe. Okay? We're all in this together. And honestly, from everything that I've seen online, we're all going to come down with this at some point. It's just...
And hopefully... it helps us just burn this thing out.
Yes.
So that we can just kill it and have it go away.
And I sincerely hope that if you do come down with Omicron, that your symptoms are.
That you have a gentle experience.
Ours
with
was overall pretty gentle.
Yeah.
Again, first 5 days were the roughest, but we weren't bedridden, although we spent a lot of time in bed, sleeping on the chair or whatever. But the lethargy, the brain fog were the worst of it. We still got some of the lethargy, but I think the brain fog is lifted, and sinuses are no worse than my normal sinuses, which aren't perfect anyway. But seriously, I can't thank you all enough. You've all been great. You've been awesome. So, Rach, you got anything else you want to throw out there?
I think I'm done. Thank you guys so very much for staying with us.
Yeah, and I can feel my energy
and all your contributions.
Like running. I know I was like hyped earlier, and now it's just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna sleep like that. So, folks, we'll be back again
next Saturday.
Next Saturday. We will, or I will be back tomorrow with a video. If you are waiting on stuff from OSR Christmas for me to answer emails, I'll be digging into emails tomorrow.
He's coming for you.
I'll be coming for you. God damn it. I'll be coming for you. Better watch out.
Sort you out.
I can do funny voices without having to work around kids. I can just go into character, and I'll be a character. But
you are indeed.
Yeah, you knew what you were marrying, Rach. Mm-hmm. There's no surprises, I hope.
Oh no.
Yeah,
no surprises.
No surprises. Again, folks, thank you. Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. And again, we'll be back again next week. I'll be live Wednesday night with Bad Mike, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. on Friday, I'll be live with Joe the Lawyer. And 8 p.m. Next Saturday, unless we change the time a little bit, Rach and I will be back. So look at that. 3 live streams a week. What more do you want? Again, proves that, I'm not really retired. I
got stuck in.
You got stuck in a bike that I don't use?
I got stuck in the cord that was over here.
Oh, okay.
We got to change that seat. We really have to change that seat.
That'd be another episode. All right, folks.
I was nagging about
Thank you so much. Laters.